Good afternoon, everyone. Let us begin today the business intelligence, the fourth topic. The last time we had discussed about fact table. Before proceeding this, let me share the screen with you people. Yes, we are in the unit 4, and the last time we had completed from the beginning, we had completed what is the data model. It was a graphical representation where we have to consider the entities and the attributes, and another important concept was cardinality ratios, like what relationship is going to be the between the entities here. And we had completed the 3 different types of data models that were the logical concept, logical model, conceptual model, and physical model. Between these three models I had completed what was the conceptual, where you are supposed to find only entities, how many tables are there, and how they are about to connect with each other, which means the relationship here. And we are not supposed to think about what attributes will be there here, and whether it is going to be primary key or foreign key. No, just we have to specify that 5 attributes are going to get work for this respective table or entity. Then we had come to another type of model. It was what physical model here. Uh, in that physical model, we had discussed how the table will get created, or what are the relationship between that here. So the main focus was, once we have understood that the structure, the schema of the this what business, then we can find out what will be the attributes, what will be the relationships here. Just I'll go back and I'll let you know what exactly it was here. Okay. Yeah. Uh, yes, here is the physical model here. Physical data model, it is a representation how the model will be built in the database. It exhibits all the structures of the table, including the column names, or we can say it as attributes. Then those attributes, what kind of a data types they are going to specify, the way how you have worked for your C programming, variable name along with followed by the data type, and the column constraints, either it is going to be the foreign key or primary key or check key or any other constraint here. Then decide whether it is a primary key or a foreign key, and then the relationship between the tables. This was about your physical data model, and what actually it will do specification of all the tables and columns. Foreign keys are used to identify the relationships between the entities or the tables, and how to design your physical data model was convert all the entities what you have identified back into the tables, which means you are supposed to create table, and after that convert the relationship into foreign keys. Whenever you have the relationship between the entities with a diagrammatic representation of diamond or rhombus shape, that you have to find out the foreign key and convert attributes into columns here. So this we had done. Then after that we completed what was the data modeling techniques, that is the normalization, or we can call it as entity relationship modeling. And another next it was the dimension modeling, which I had started with the last class. So let me just give a glance for the normalization or ER modeling. Normalization, you can call it as ER modeling, where you can specify that it is what entity relationship modeling. And while we are performing the entity relationship modeling, what are the steps what we create for the database here? Normal, we just use the identifying the tables or entities. Then we are supposed to mention the relationship between the tables along with the cardinality and participation type, either it is a total or it is a partial. Okay. And then after that, identify the key attributes, identify all other relevant attributes, plot the ER diagram with the attributes, including key attributes. You are not supposed to leave primary attributes, primary key or foreign key. The ER diagram is then reviewed with the business users that we had done. Just what you have to go on step by step, how you are going to draw the entire ER diagram, which you are following currently in your project here. Okay. I had just discussed about the example for the ER modeling for one of the example of the business company, where you had checked what are the entities or what are the tables. That was the business units, business unit head, employee, address, project, and client. These are the entities or these are the tables. Okay, coming to the second point, you are supposed to identify the relationship with the help of cardinality. Cardinality represents 1:1, 1:many, many, or many:1 here. Such type of a relationship will be there, and it is also included the type of participation. Either it is going to be the total participation or a partial participation here. Okay, proceeding to the next thing, I had just completed this in your manual class. Then after that, you are supposed to find out what are the key attributes, like which key is going to be the primary key and which key is going to be the foreign key here. Okay. Then finding out all other relevant attributes apart from the taken decision for the primary key and foreign key here. And finally, you are supposed to draw the ER diagram also. Okay. Coming to the next, it was dimensional modeling. It is what like a single version of the truth. The example we had given, the person at the check-in counter needs your boarding pass to book your check-in bags here. The same concept is getting asked by everyone. That's what we call it as a dimensional modeling. Again, coming to the immigration personal book, look at your boarding pass to ascertain the source and the destination of your itinerary here. To get into the flight, you are supposed to show them the boarding pass where you are supposed to, like you are a valid person. Okay, the security personnel scrutinized your boarding pass for security reasons to verify that you are in the eligible traveler. Everything they will check here. Like if you are having a boarding pass, they're about to check your some other documents also. And once you get into inside the flight here, other entrance itself, the aircraft crew looked at your boarding pass to onboard you and guide you to your seat. The respective boarding pass, whatever the seat number is there, with the help of that, you will get a guidance. Another scenario I had discussed about the electronics for all. One of this one incident is there, where there they are going to find out the sales report here. Total number of units sold it is 113, but that 113 is getting distributed with different categories like sold over time or like product over time for which region, and after the region which product has been purchased for a number of times. So they have said actually the total number it is what 113 that is getting distributed with the help of overtime and product overtime as well as the each region. Then coming to the next point, dimension modeling. The last class we had finished this year. It is logical design technique for structuring data so that is intuitive to business users and deliver this what fast query performance here. Along with the two parts of the dimension modeling, one it is a measurement and another part it is what context here. Measurements are captured by various business processes. Contexts are intuitively divided into independent logical clumps, which is called as a dimensions. Let us have a look what exactly dimensions and the fact is. Same like a measurement and context. Measurement means what fact and context means what entire description here. You can have a look over here. Dimensions or the context, we will say it as describes who, what, when, where, why, and how. All the description it is there. Context of the measurement there. Context of the measurement there. If I say in the respective class, how many students are present? Normally, you people give me the answer, ma'am, it is a 25. When I ask who are present here for which class, at what time they entered the class, they were attending or no. So that will become a dimensions here where we will say it as a context. Coming to the next point, what is the fact? It is what measurement values. When I say how many students, you give me the answer 25. But when I ask who all are there, that will become this word dimension or context here. Examples they have given, fact is equals to number of tickets booked among paid here. And the dimensions, customer details will be like a name, then age, the respective destination, the respective arrival, then departure, everything will come here. Pickup point, dropping point, everything. Time of booking, time of travel, origin city, destination city, mode of payment. So this will come under the dimensions here. Then I had completed with the benefits of dimension modeling, which we are having the comprehensibility, improved query performance, spread for the data analysis scenario, where we have the respective table of the dimensions and facts along with the description and the values. We will get a best idea to perform the query performance and also the analysis here, where the product or why the result is lacking here. Okay. Then today we have to, yesterday itself I had completed this fact table. A fact table consists of various measurements. It stores the measures of business processes and points to the lowest detail of each dimension table. When I say that how many students were present today, how many students were present yesterday, so I have to check which is the lowest value, then I have to decide why it is the lowest here. So that will also become here. The fact represent how much or how many aspect of a question. The example for the fact table is price, product sales, product inventory. Only price you have to say. I'm not asking what product it is here. Product sales, how many products are sold today, what is the business, so that I can ask. And the product inventory, in inventory store, how many products are available. I'm not asking which product is there, which product is very less, why it is a problem, why it has got defected, and why it is lacking. No, just I ask what is the product inventory, how many you have to tell. Okay. Then coming to the next, I discussed with the types of facts. So that will work. 3 types of facts. One, it is additive, semi-additive, and non-additive. The additive word, you can say it as the addition and go on adding. No subtraction here. Semi-additive, yes, there is a kind of addition as well as the subtraction. And the last one, it is what? Non-additive, which is not getting added, which is not getting subtracted here. Okay. Then additive facts, these are the facts that can be summed up or aggregated across all the dimensions in the fact table here. Example will be like the measures of activity, quantity sold, dollars sold here. So example are given here. Fact table is of sales, dimension tables are date, store, and product here. So from the fact table, we are supposed to find out what is the additive fact here. So the fact table has product ID, date ID, store ID. Okay. So this is what the additive facts are there. And total what we are going to calculate the sales amount. I can say product ID where it is getting combining with the dimension table date. So date ID is the this what dimension table. I can find out, I can add on this date, so and so many products have got sold. On this date, n number of products have been got sold. So I can count 5 days like that, which goes on increasing here. Coming to the point product ID, where it will check what product it is there, how many products have got sold, and the store ID from which store the products are getting sold here. Let me tell you that here no more description where we had discussed for the last class, just giving a glance. So from the previous diagram, here is a description. The sales fact table along with its corresponding dimension table. This fact table has one measure which is called as the sales amount, and the 3 dimension keys, date ID, product ID, and the store ID. The purpose of the sales fact of the fact table is to record the sales amount for each product in each store on daily basis. Whatever the sales amount we are supposed to get increasing, we are calculating for each day, daily basis, for which product we are getting calculated, how many products got sold, and on which date it is there. Like today itself, you see about the Reliance Mart in the evening, they will check today's date. After that, which all products like Amul product, how many products have got sold. They are not interested whether it is cheese or whether it is butter or whether it is curd or anything sweet dishes there. They are not interested for the description, just they want the quantity here. And coming to the point store ID, where is the main branch located, they will calculate that from which store it is getting worked out. Okay. Sales amount is an additive fact because we sum up this fact along any of the 3 dimensions. Maybe it is a date, or maybe it is a product, or maybe it is a dim story. Total amount also we can calculate with the help of date. Like today, आज कितना amount हो गया है, product कितने सारे products पर total हो गया. So that also we can do, and store IDs also we can calculate it. Then semi-additive facts, these are the facts that can be summed up for some dimensions in the fact table, not all. Coming to the point of the example, you can say account balances, inventory level, listing or counts here. So here is the example, take account current balance profit margin. Account balances. Now what? One of the customer is there, he can deposit or he can withdraw. One customer. I can calculate his current balance or current amount what he has here. But in the bank, what we say, we are not only working for single customer, we are thinking for n number of customers today's current balance. A single customer not only going to add up the balance, not going to add the money, he or she may withdraw or credit here. So that is not happening only adding. It can be withdrawn. So that we will say it what semi-additive facts here. Coming to the point, inventory level. Today I purchased in my inventory or data warehouse 100 pen drives. And I'm selling that respective pen drives. So what is happening? From that 100, I'm selling, it is getting deducted. Add me or add me ho raha hai, but it is what getting deducted is just what we call it as a semi-additive facts here. So example, I have mentioned again the table for the fact table as an account. Dimension table, we have a date. Then coming to the next point, customer table, account table. From the fact table, we are going to measure the semi-additive like a current balance and profit margin. And we are taking the help of this for account ID, date ID. And for the customer ID, we are going to take the help of dimension itself is getting extended. That time it will come for the customer, which customer it is there here. Okay. So this table description is being given here. The purpose of this table is to record the current balance for each account, each customer, each account at the end of the each day, right? So, kitna balance kiska customer hai, everything, as well as the profit margin for each account for each day. What was the target? So that we have to check. Current balance and profit margin are the facts. Okay, from this fact table, the current balance and profit margin are completely facts. How? Current balance is a semi-additive fact. How? As it makes the senses to add up them up for all the accounts. I have said that not only one customer, for all the accounts here, what's the total current balance for all the accounts in the bank here? What is the total current balance for all accounts in the bank? Customer 1, what is the total balance? Customer 2, what is the total balance? Customer 3, what is the total balance? But it does not make sense to add them up through time. Why it cannot be added up? Because that customer till evening it was deposited. I mean the amount was there. And when in the bank section, the report will be created for finding the current balance in all the accounts after, till 5 o'clock, and after 5 o'clock, suppose if that customer withdraws the amount, what will happen? That also matters here. So through time, adding up all the current balances for a given account for each day of the month does not give us any meaningful information or useful information, as it is getting debited and credited also. Profit margin is also the semi-additive fact, for it does not make sense to add them up for the account level or the day level here. That is also the same. बस debit हो जाता है, credit हो जाता है, sometimes the balance will also become zero. We don't know what is going to happen, but we can keep on adding also. Okay. And the last one is what non-additive facts are the facts that cannot be summed up for any of the dimensions present in the fact table. We can have a picture over here in the table. We can calculate about the weather also, the date, temperature here. Date it is what 5th May 7 a.m. The temperature is what 27 degree. We cannot say, I cannot predict it. I cannot add up here. Sometimes it will go on low, sometimes it will go on increasing here. Okay. Then here there is a one more thing. The fact table along with the dimension table. Here the fact it is what's event ID and the speaker ID. Speaker ID is not going to get added here. Now what I'm talking, that will not go on adding here. Getting, I may talk, I may not talk here. So that also will go for the this what non-additive. Examples of the non-additive facts are textual facts, which we go on writing any kind of paragraphs, words here. It is non-additive. Okay. Pre-unit prices, no, that is also not this what additive here. Percentage and ratios, no. Percentage goes on increasing, decreasing. Measures of intensity is also not, averages and factorial. Then today we have to start with this what dimension table. It consists of dimension attributes which describe the dimension elements to enhance comprehension. Main functionalities for the dimension table are what you have seen for this respective table. Dimension table date, dimension table participant, dimension table speaker, and dimension event it is area. For that, what are the advantages here or what are the function? Query filtering. We can go and filter the query instead of scrolling the entire database here. And the query result set labeling also. Like you can show the results for the annual report, monthly or quarterly. Okay. Then the question might arise for you people in the examination, like explain the different dimension attributes. There are the 5 attributes are present for your dimension attribute. That is a verbose, descriptive, complete, discrete values, quality assured. What the verbose it is? It specifies that whatever the label, I mean the product what you are going to give here or the dimension table should have all words, no missing. It should consist of full words here. And the description, if you're going to create a table, that respective column or the label, purpose of the dimension element is as few words here. What purpose you are using that product, that should be there. And the complete no missing value should be there. Example, I had given the for the medicine itself at the last, at the backside of the medicine, we find out the manufacturing date. If the expiry date is not there, that will not become a complete. For that purpose, you have to use this word complete, no missing values. Discrete values means what? As we are going to create the table, database means what table I have. After that, entities, primary key relationship, and the foreign keys here. But what exactly the discrete values? For each row, only one value is presented, not n number of values are there. Quality assured that no impossible values or no invalid values. If I say the data type is varchar, I can use the alphabets also or I can use the numbers also. But when I say number or integer, I have to use only what the numbers. And when the size is of varchar 15, I cannot go beyond 15 here. I have to be inside 15 here. So that time we have to say this what quality assured here. Okay. These are the 5 attributes for the dimension here. Verbose, descriptive, complete, discrete values, and quality assured. Coming to the next point, dimension hierarchies. Now, hierarchy means what? We say it is a parent-child relationship here. You have learned everywhere in the Java, advanced Java, where the concept was called as an inheritance here. So same way, in your dimension table also, we are going to have the dimension table itself is getting extended. So let us see, it is a cascaded series of many to one relationship here. Many is there, many entities or many dimension tables are there, is getting connected to one. Have you seen the respective previous diagrams? Have you seen here many dimension tables are getting connected to one fact table? So same way we have to go on checking here. Okay. So let us see. Many to one relationship and consist of different labels. A dimension hierarchy may also be described as a set of parent-child relationship between the attributes present within the dimensions roll up from child to parent. Now just go back to the customer itself. See here. This is the dimension tables, many to dimensions, many to one. Many first it is what date. Another dimension table is what account. So 2 dimension which we can say it as a many, and it is getting connected for one fact table. And after that, can you see here dimension table is getting extended for another dimension table also. So this I can roll up. This is a child and this is the parent relationship here. Okay. Coming to the next point here. Yeah, example we can say for the dimension hierarchies as daily cells could roll up weekly cells daily. Today's cell, today how much products I have sold, so that how many products can we work out for the weekly, total of weekly, which will further roll up to the month, to quarter, to yearly sales also. Getting so from lowest point to the highest point, where the daily sales could roll up to weekly, weekly will go further, roll up to the month, to quarter, and to yearly sales here, which is going to become the child to parent here. Okay. So here is the example for the dimension hierarchies for the product table. Now what? If we go to the big bazaar, we think what product you want to purchase, like which department, which category, which brand, which product maybe. So here we are having the dimension hierarchies. Three examples are there. I can say that product, date, and location here. For the product, how the hierarchy for the dimension will work here. Which product from which department you're going to take. After that, what is the category? After that, what brand it is there, and what is the product name here. I'll give that example also. And coming to the point, date here, which was what date? We say that what date here? We just say this what normally January. Okay, that month is over. No, which year and which quarter it was normally here. So for the date, we have the hierarchy as year, which year it was, what is the quarter, which quarter was there, out of 4 or out of 3, which quarter was going on, and month also here. Okay, and the location we state always from country to state, state to region or sub-region, which goes on increasing. Okay, now for this here product, I will give you example how the department is there. Department, I can say dairy products here, dairy products here. Category which will be like a milk, then after that butter, then after that many things are there here. So here categories, dairy products can be classified into milk, butter, cottage cheese, yogurt, etc. Okay, and then which product it is there here, that also matters here. Like products will be, brand will be Amul, Nestle, or Spurti, anything brand it is there. Then from that respective brand, what you are purchasing from Amul, you can purchase for the Amul Slim Cheese or Amul Easy Spread or Amul cheese here. Everything that is there. So department, which category, which brand, which product name here. Okay. Normally we say this clothing section is that what clothing section you want for the girls. We say this what ethnic wear here. Then coming for the brand here, Biba or Turtle or any jockey, anything whatever here, and what you're going to purchase. That also matters. Okay. Then there are different types of dimension tables we are having. So this question will be arised as explain different types of dimension table where you can specify 2 points and single example. Other case can be explained slowly changing dimension and rapidly changing dimension. But let us have a look how it is there. Dimension table means what attributes is going to get considered. How that attributes will go on changing. You will get idea what exactly it is that. So there are 5 dimension table. One, it is degenerate dimension. Second, it is slowly changing dimension, rapidly changing dimension, role playing dimension, and jump dimension. The keywords itself we specify, we understand that degenerate, generation, degeneration here. Slowly changing, where changing is happening slowly, turtle type here, rapidly changing very fast, and role playing playing dimension that is also there, and junk dimension. So let us have a glance here. What was a degenerate dimension? A degenerate dimension is when the dimension. Now, what is the dimension table? In the dimension table, we are going to have attributes. So that attributes, how it is getting worked, that you have to check. A degenerate dimension is when the dimension attribute is stored as a part of the fact table. If you go previously for the diagrams, see, here is a fact table, it is there. And what are the dimension table now? Date. Now, in the fact table, date is there. So date from where it is coming? It is coming from the dimension table. So this date is getting stored as a part of the dimension table. Actually, where it is working, it is getting work for the fact table. Yes. So how it is that, how it is getting related? Let us see. When the dimension attribute is stored as a part of the fact table and not in a separate dimension table. Separate nahi hai. Okay. Product ID comes from the product dimension table. Invoice number, it is standalone attribute and has no other attributes associated with it. And invoice number can be crucially since the business will not want to know the quantity of the product. If you go back to the another here, starting additive facts here. Yes. Can you see here in the fact table? Sales amount is getting related anywhere? No. Sales amount is there anywhere in the dimension table? No. So that it is degenerate. dimension table is not getting generated. It is not getting degeneration. Just it is what stand alone. It is there here. If you see the month and year, it's getting work out here. No. Okay. So an invoice number is not there for the respective date table. It is not there for the respective product table. It is there for the billing purpose. हर एक प्रोडक्ट के लिए इनवॉइस नंबर नहीं रहेगा. पूरा शॉपिंग करने के बाद एक ही इनवॉइस नंबर आ जाएगा. ओके. Yeah, this you can see invoice number. See, same it is there here. Invoice number 11223344. For one product ID it is there here, and quantity it is what 4. Amount is what 100. It is there. And same person has purchased 2 products here that you can see here. So like this is a Sanjana where her invoice number it is 11223344. So she has purchased for the 3 products. So that is what called as a, this invoice number is not getting separated for Sanjana has purchased product ID, Sanjana has purchased, no, एक ही invoice number एक ही person को दे जाएगा. Simple नहीं है. Okay. Then slowly changing dimension attributes here. Dimension attributes that change slowly over a period of time rather than changing regularly is grouped as slowly changing dimension. Let us assume a company sells car related accessories. The company decides to assign a new sales territory. Okay, new thing it is there. With the help of table you will come to know exactly what is there here. Okay, Los Angeles to its sales representative Brett Watson, who earlier operated from Chicago here. Okay, what exactly? So see, starting sales representative ID, sales reporter name, representative name, and in which territory he is working. Slowly changing, not immediately yet. So 1001 is the sales representative ID, sales representative name. It is called Brett Watson, where currently he is working in the Chicago. Immediately next day he is not going to change the respective location here. So that will work when he changes slowly. The representative ID is going to remain same. And then name it is also same, Brad Watson, and from where Chicago to Los Angeles. Currently where he is working, where he was working, that was a Chicago. Okay. Then again in the slowly changing dimensions, we are going to have categories or types here. We have type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay, we have 3 types are there. Okay, which is very easy. With the help of table, you can cover up. Type 1, overwriting the history. Now, overwriting means what? Just to erase and write again. You are not preserving. In this approach, the existing dimension attribute is overwritten with the new data and hence no history is preserved. You can have a look here. Just go back. First of all, take these 2 tables, sales representative ID, sales representative name and territory, where he was working and currently where he is working. 2 tables are there here. So overwriting the history, sales representative ID, sales representative name, territory. Name 1001 Brad Watson and currently where he is working, Los Angeles. We don't know where he was working. We have just overwritten here. Table एक ही हो जाएगा. What those people will do? They will erase and they will store here. And coming for the advantages here, advantages it is what easiest and simplest approach to implement. Why? Because there is nothing to be changed for the 1001, not Brad Watson, just we have to go on changing the territory name. Very effective, no change in structure table. And the disadvantages is what? History may be lost, which we cannot store here. Rebuild of results here. When I ask for all the results or all the data, you are supposed to remind what was the previous data, what was the previous of previous data, which is highly impossible, right? So that will become a disadvantage here. Type 2, which is a preserving. Type 1 was overwriting here. Type 2 it is what? Preserving the history. जो भी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव का है, जो भी डेटा है आपके पास, उसका पूरा हिस्ट्री चाहिए. कब से स्टार्ट किया था, कब तक चल रहा है. Okay. A new row is added into the dimension table with a new primary key every time a change occurs to any of the attributes in the dimension. Therefore, both the origin values and the new values are captured here. Have a look for the table. Same table we are going to represent. That is the sales representative ID, sales representative name, and the territory. 1001 Brett Watson, where he was working in the Chicago, and another was what? We have not cleared, we have not erased, or we have not overwritten. We are preserving the history also. Okay. What are the advantages? keeps the track of historical information, yes. And what are the disadvantages? Cause the size of the table to grow faster. We are supposed to give the extra memory or extra space, and more work will work. Again, we have to write 1001. Think of like this way, 10,000 records are there here. Storage and performance becomes serious concern because repeated values also will become as the memory is also getting increased here. So that is the disadvantage. Type 3, reserving one or more versions of history. Approach is used when it is compulsory for the data warehouse to track the historical changes and when these changes will happen only for a finite number of times, like how many times you are valid to change it. Type 3 do not increase the size of the table as compared to the type 2 since old information is updated by adding the new information. So let us see. You can have a look here. We are not going to add up the rows. We are just going to add up the columns here. So sales representative name is what number, it is what 1001, name it is Brad Watson, and where he started his work, origin sales territory Chicago, and currently where he is working Los Angeles, and from when this Los Angeles, from when it is there here, so that you can mention. Advantages and disadvantages. Old information is updated with the new information. Just you are supposed to go on increase. Allows to keep the track of some part of history here. Part of history matlab, this is their origin, and current information is also available from when he has started working. Disadvantage, not able to keep all the history when attribute is changed more than once. Now he was working for Chicago and Los Angeles. Now after some time he will go for this word Denmark again. So what will happen? It is very difficult. Chicago, Los Angeles, and Denmark. I have to just erase only what Los Angeles and I have to provide this for Denmark. So क्या हो जाता है? सारा history नहीं हो जाता. So it will not get stored here. Rapidly changing dimension. Very fast. You are not supposed to wait. A dimension considered to be fast changing dimension is called as rapidly changing dimension. If one or more attributes change frequently and also in several rows. So that we have to say rapidly changing. Customer table having around 1 lakh rows, assuming that on average 10 changes occurs in a dimension every year, then in 1 year, in 1 year, it will be the number of rows will increase 1 lakh into 10. That will become 10 lakhs, which is very fast. Role playing dimension. A single dimension that is expressed differently in a fact table with the usage of views is called as a role playing here. Laptop shopping online. How the dimension will go on changing. Now, if you purchase anything item online here, you will check that order ID when you had ordered on which date, and you are supposed to find out this what delivery date also here. So here for date, respective date, we are having two rules. आपने कब order किया था और delivery कब हो रहा है. Getting shipping address. They will say that has been placed the order so and so date. It has been came to this destination so and so date. It will be shipped on so and so date. What is happening here for a single date itself? The role are getting played here from when you had ordered and when it will come here. Okay, so they have said that order date and delivery date. So yes, here for product table, coming to the shipping purpose here itself, I'll tell you. Shipper ID, shipper name, city, and ID it is there. And from the city table, you see, no, city is the dimension table. You are having for the city table two roles we are going to play from city ID to city ID. City city aa jayega from which city to city here. The junk, last one, it is what junk garbage dimension. What is a junk? Extra garbage, which is not allowed. Contains low cardinality columns and attributes such as indicators, codes, and status flags. Like if it is yes or no, if it is a red or a green. The garbage dimension is also known as junk dimension. The attributes in a garbage dimension are not associated with any hierarchy. Like there is no relationship with other dimension tables also here. Okay, let us look the example. Assuming that we have a following fact table, in this example, transaction code, coupon indicator, and prepay indicator, all are the indicator fields. In this existing format, each one of them is a dimension. Using the junk dimension principle, we can combine them into a single junk dimension, resulting in the following fact table. Note that now the row number of dimensions in the fact table went from 7 to 5. The content of the junk dimension table will look like the following. This what which are the junk nodes, which are not useful attributes or columns that you have to keep in this what junk dimension junk. Now from that table, junk ID is not important for us. Transaction code is not that, coupon indicator is not that, prepay indicator is not that. If we join this both the table, what will happen? It will take a lot of space. So whatever the which are not useful, that we can provide in the dimension junk. Don't throw, don't discard. Oh, use ho jayega, but keep aside. Okay, so that was the uh, junk dimension here. Then tomorrow I'll finish the typical dimension models. Till then, have a look for this slide here. So have a look here. Thank you.